All right, so let's begin the show. And are you also one of those bank customers who finds him or herself complaining and cribbing about bank services? There's good news for you. A committee set up by the Reserve Bank of India has proposed measures to improve customer services at banks, including hassle-free settlement of the accounts of deceased deposit holders, simpler know your customer norms, and give more teeth to banking ombudsman. Let's understand all of this. I have with me Aparna Ramchandra, founder director rectifycredit.com. Aparna, good evening. Welcome to the show. Some very crucial steps, for improving and making the entire banking experience for a customer friendly. I think these steps which are proposed or which the committee is also considering, if they come into action, this will really solve the day-to-day banking things that a customer needs to do to a lot of extent. But I really want to understand the highlights of the kind of problems that RBI has observed and the recommendations that have gone to the committee and the points that they are working on.
Hi, Kavita. This is a very, very important and a very, should I say, like a landmark development in the banking domain. Because for the longest of the time, as we all know, RBI banking ombudsman was, it was like an, toothless elephant, if I can say. So the process was very cumbersome. It was not the user-friendly process, and lot of outdated requirements and all of that. So from there to where today RBI is saying that the application can be done online, which itself according to me is a major development, because otherwise one had to write on a like a send a letter, and that would sometimes be received, not received, and then wait for 30 days after that. So now you send an online application, and there is a 30-day window within which you are able to get a resolution. We will come to what resolution later, but at least the good point is, once your complaint is getting registered into the system, there is a docket number that one gets, so you are able to follow up basis your docket number. So somewhere there is an accountability, there is a trail mail, there is a communication channel that is open, which for the longest of the time was not available. Again, at the same time, RBI is also giving a lot of teeth to the banking ombudsman at the bank level. So there also a lot of resolutions are getting resolved. And overall, I feel it is a matter of another 5 to 6 months before this whole thing sets in. And as a practice, these good practices are, given effect. Kavita.
Okay, but the pressing point over here, which I really wanted to understand, is simplifying the settlement, of the deceased banking customer. I think this is something very important, and even returning the deposit to the particular nominee, which banks have not been able to do in spite of a lot of, guidelines being come about for it, and which we also saw RBI, and we also saw a few banks working on it. We had numbers where that particular amount that a bank has been lying idle in the bank accounts. There have been several kind of norms and guidelines which were out, Aparna, earlier also. But what do you think will actually ensure fast settlement of this particular case?
If you see in the last 6 months, there is a very concentrated effort across the players in the ecosystem. For example, at the banking level, like you said, deposit unused, funds lying in the bank because the borrow, I mean the account holder is deceased. Then there is the banks doesn't know what to do. The family is clueless. So there is this part. Similarly, at the credit bureau level, we also could not know whether this person is alive or not. So today, a good thing that is happening is, to a deceased person's, if somebody is trying to pull out a credit report, there is a very clear mention that this person doesn't exist anymore. Similarly, for this banking, there is a whole process that is put in place. Ultimately, what I believe should happen, and I think we are inching there, is all of these need to talk to each other. It should not be each exclusive to the other. So the bank needs to talk to the bureau needs to talk to the IT needs to talk to, come back to the bank, so that together there is a very informed detail that is being shared. That is one part. Second part is for the deceased, the family. I think the process has to be little more simpler, and it also has to have some more empathy in the process. Today there are a lot of duplicate unwanted documents, and go get signature here, go do this, go do that. I think if that can also be simplified and across banks a common process is put in place, I think we are in a good wicket, on a good shape. Kavita.
One very important aspect, Aparna, which we really have to highlight and discuss is the grievance redressal mechanism that most of these banks have, and especially the public sector banks, where the complaints almost are of 79%. In last 3 years, the grievance redressal mechanism is so weak that the complaint number has crossed 10 to 11 million. Okay, what do you think the changes are proposed, and the committee especially, how the committee will ensure that the public sector banks have a stronger and a robust grievance redressal mechanism or system in place? This is a very long pending requirement or need.
See, this is a very, very critical requirement. Now, please understand, whatever RBI decides, whatever RBI dictates, whatever RBI wants to achieve, it can be the best as in terms of the common man. But it is for the public sector banks to proactively start moving in that direction. Unfortunately, in our country, the language that is spoken and the language of the action is very different, right? So in this whole piece, it is again coming back to the same thing. Today, before getting on to this session, I was just going through multiple websites, on RBI thing, on what kind of complaints are there and how it is being addressed. Trust me, out of the first 25 complaints you see on any of those portals, 20 to 22 are for the public sector banks. And what I initially mentioned, that there is a 30-day window within which this needs to be resolved. There has to be a solution given. That is never followed. So each time so most of the complaints were, A, I'm not able to register my complaint at all. B, once I register my complaint, I don't know when I'm going to get a solution, and it has already been 3 months, 6 months, and there is nothing. So unless, to answer your question, A, today all the banks, if you check their website, this pyramid is very clear. The start level is the customer service, then comes your nodal officer, then comes your grievance redressal, and then there is a banking ombudsman. So this hierarchy is very clear. But if the customer service doesn't respond, you cannot go to the nodal officer or grievance redressal and say, please help, because your customer service is not responding, because they are going to send you back saying that first get a response from them. Show us that why you are not happy with the response. If you don't have a response at all, how will you show whether you are happy or you are unhappy with the response? So similarly, the same thing happens with the banking ombudsman as well. So the first thing is they have a 30-day window where they don't do anything, and then they will send you a reply, which is like literally like a chatbot reply, saying that, go back to your bank where you and prove us why you are not happy with their service. Let them respond. Are we have come to you because they have not responded in the last 2 years, and you again send us back then. So to come back to your question, what needs to be done is there has to be a mechanism at each of the public sector bank level where there has to be their own internal check and balance, where they say this is the period by which the customer service has to respond. If the customer is not happy with the service, then it gets escalated to nodal. Again, there is a window there, And if that doesn't happen, and then he goes to the grievance redressal, but there is a trail mail of this communication so that when he lands up at the ombudsman, there is enough evidence that the person has collected at each level why he or she is unhappy with the service. See, there is no fun, and we don't enjoy going to the ombudsman just for the heck of it, right? It is literally our last resort. This is like going to the Supreme Court. So we are very happy if it is happening at the lower level. So the
No, but then
lower
Aparna,
level has
what
to
does it
be.
mean by giving more teeth to the ombudsman? Because as explained by you, it looks like ombudsman has enough powers. Is this that they
Not
don't
the
have the
ombudsman.
grit
No,
to?
no, not the
Yeah.
ombudsman. The teeth has to be at
Okay.
the bank level. The teeth has to be at
Okay.
the bank
Okay.
level. So the
Okay.
customer
Okay.
service, now all of us call these customer service guys, right? So most of them, we are upset with them, we yell and we are frustrated and all of that. But they have no rights. They don't have any powers to take any decision. So the only thing they can do is, yes, we will look into your effort and we will complain and we will come back to you, because that person doesn't have the authority. So what I am suggesting is, through this discussion, is at the customer level, if no, for example, I didn't get my account statement, or I have not got my interest is not calculated right, or I had requested for a 3-year bank statement that has not come. So those are things that the customer service should be given the authority, where they should be able to go talk to those team and get that generated and be sent out. So those need not pile up. Where there is a bigger critical issue, it must be in such a way that the customer service themselves are able to escalate it to the nodal officer and say, look, this is a very critical matter for the bank, why don't you look into this? Similarly, today all the social media handles of all the public sector banks are next to dead. You write to them, you tweet, you put there on Instagram, on Facebook, there is absolutely no response, because it looks as if that we have got enough to deal with. You guys can take a walk. That needs to change. That attitude needs to change. So if tomorrow I am not getting any response and I go to the social media, those handles need to be
Right.
active.
Exactly. So, but then, out of all this, what's the immediate takeaway? One last question, then we'll wrap up this segment also. What is an immediate takeaway to all the bank customers, especially the PSU bank customers?
The first thing is, whatever you are writing, please put it in writing. Don't do it on the phone. Number one, like I always say. Second, if you don't get a response in 7 days, automatically you yourself take the copy of what you've sent to the customer service and head to the nodal officer.
All right, Aparna, I think that will be all. Thank you so much for taking time out and explaining various aspects of the RBI committee that's been set up by the RBI and the way they are working to make all the banking customers' life easy. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you.